How's it going, Renegade Nation? Before we begin the video, I want to give a big shout out to our most recent Patreon supporters and YouTube members. Trent Ragioni 235, Crimson Caption 5, Jade Rasmussen, Dusk Dovahkiin, Noah Morgan, Banana Peel, RF, Ash Lopez, Cold Philly, Kevin J. Coleman, Thomas Beretta, Tommy Hill, Aaron White, Crispy Bacon, Oscar Zephyr, Commander Nom Nom, Sabely, Owen, Zach, Noah Barnhart, Canadian Caesar, Matt Way, JD, Cheese Soda, Omega, Ross Lingard, Rogue Knight, The Tin Man 1996, Thomas A. Beatty, Kendra Maxey, Dr. Pepper 225, Jacob Huffman, The Names Due, Tunnel Rat, Catmere, Benjamin Callahan, Nguyen An Quan, Brony Time, Matthew B., Smooth Weaver, Hemora 13, Pro Tomahawker, Wong Varaya, and as always, I want to give a big shout out to our executive producer, Bevan Brummett. Thank you all very much for your support, and if you want to become a Patreon supporter, feel free to click the link in the description to find out more. We'll see you there. Like, hey buddy! Oh! Oh! I'm breakdancing in the middle of the street. Don't bother me.
Oh shit!
So, Kate, you are not aware of a certain individual on the internet. This individual is a man by the name of Daniel Avidan.
Mm-hmm.
So, Dan, as everyone out there affectionately knows him, is a musician. He is specifically a very good singer. A lot of people, love his voice and all that. He got famous on the internet by being in a band, I kid you not, called Ninja Sex Party, where him as Danny Sexbang in a leotard and a cape,
mm-hmm.
and Ninja Brian, who, by the way, has a PhD in physics, is the instrumentalist. He basically plays the keyboard, and Dan sings and writes the lyrics and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been making music for a long time, but here recently Dan has been splintering off and doing his own thing. If people want us to watch like some of Ninja Sex Parties or NSP's videos and stuff, like I'd be down for that again. I'd love to go back and rewatch them because they're just so good. So I guess this one is one that emotionally for a lot of people has been like a very heavy song.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people think, well, okay, the song was made famous in the modern era by Simon and Garfunkel, but it was originally a English folktale song about
mm-hmm.
About someone who was given these impossible tasks to win the hand of the woman that he loved.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a fairly joyous song, because it basically speaks to just like doing anything and everything for the person that you love.
Mm-hmm.
And when Simon and Garfunkel got a hold of it, they adapted it and they rearranged a few things, and it's still a very beautiful song. But Dan, he he has a bunch of family or friends and some family members who work in the animation field, and basically a lot of people came together and made an animated music video for this.
Mm-hmm.
And well, I guess without further ado, we're just gonna jump into it.
Okay.
And you will tell, and I will not hit pause once on this.
Okay.
So we're just gonna go straight through. And hopefully, hopefully I won't cry. Because I've seen this a few times and it still gets me. Anyway, here we go.
Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, She once was a true love of mine. Tell her to make me a cambric shrill in a deep forest. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and tracing of sparrow on snow-crested brown. Without no seams, no needle knows the child of a man. Then she'll be her true lover. Sleeps unaware of the clarion call. Tell her to find me a neighbor again, a sprinkling of parsley, sage, rosemary, and washes the grave with silvery tears. Between the salt water and the strands and polishes, then she'll be her true love of mine. Tell her to reap it with a sickle, aloes blazing in scarlet bertel. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and now there's soldiers who can gather it all and fight for cause they've not go for that. She'll be her true love of mine. Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Remember me to one who lives there. She once was a true love of mine.
So did he die? Did he give up his life for her?
The unicorn used
His
its miracle
life
as
force?
basically, if you understand the lore of unicorns, basically they can grant life to basically like basic organic, like trees. They can cause a rebirth for trees and plants and fields. But when it comes to like the true miracle of life, like sentient life, they can actually sacrifice themselves to bring someone back.
Wow.
And that's actually what happened there with the dragon.
Wow.
And the other thing about the dragon is, dragons historically through in European lore are seen as creatures of destruction, like complete creatures of destruction, and unicorns are seen as the miracle of magic.
Right.
That's what they're, and it again, there's Scarborough Fair, where it's based on an English folk tale and all that. I think it's really cool that they use the the European ways of understanding unicorns and dragons in terms of the folklore.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
But also it's very sad.
Yes,
I was not
very.
expecting her to die. Like the second that he left and went away. Well, I was suspicious whenever they all saw the smoke and then they started to go towards it. And then they killed her.
Yeah, because
then,
they thought that the red on the ground was the blood from the unicorn.
From him.
And yeah, it's just, to me, it's just classic misunderstanding.
Yeah.
That happens so often with people who have no context of anything that's going on, and then all of a sudden they come in they see and then they assume what happened instead of what the truth is.
Right.
And they act before they even have a chance to sift through like what actually occurred. And you see, I love Scarborough Fair, the one that's by Simon and Garfunkel. I love it, but again, this along with the visual representation of the music video was just really, really good for me. I loved it so much. And I hate when people, like, there were people who actually were angry at the, you know, just like, oh, it's like Simon and Garfunkel, you know, this. There were actually some musical purists who were just like, oh, this is a massive disrespect to Simon and Garfunkel. And I'm like, you do realize Simon and Garfunkel didn't actually write the song, right? I mean, that's like people just like, there's these music purists out there who just want to just relegate anything, like relegate covers to like secondhand. But sometimes there are some covers that I actually like better than the original.
Right, yeah.
I mean, as much as I know Leonard Cohen's version of Hallelujah is seen as like, oh, yeah, right.
Just hit myself in the face. Sorry.
That's all right.
I wasn't trying to distract her.
No. It just shit happens. But as much as I like Leonard Cohen's version of Hallelujah, I still think Jeff Buckley's version is the superior version. And I've gotten some flack for that because the people are just like, how could you say that Leonard Cohen's version is the best? Leonard Cohen's is just like, it's perfect. And I'm just like, see, that's the problem. Perfection is unknowable. Perfection is in the eye of the beholder. It's often, if you perceive Leonard Cohen's version as perfection, that's fine. It's like me and Nick disagree about certain things. Like me and Nick disagree on shows that I consider some very high and he doesn't. There's some composers I consider very high up on my list, and Nick considers them like middle of the road. And Nick considers like some things to be like super high on the list, and I'm like, yeah, it's okay. I like it all right. And we respect each other's opinions enough to where we don't like try and
agree to disagree.
Well, we agree to disagree, but at the same time, we look at the opinions of what they say and how they see it and everything, and you know, we look at their interpretations of how they see things, and we come to understand, it's like, oh, this is why you like it so much. Yeah. And we don't try and nitpick each other to death and like try and stab each other in the back with just like little things, just like, oh, well, you know, this composer, you know, I just don't feel anything whenever I'm listening to them, and then it just like, well, okay, that's what, and you know, if you harp on about, because that's one thing a lot of people like to do. They want to pretend like their opinion matters more than everyone else's, and they'll nitpick everyone down eventually to the point where, like, I eventually got to the point with someone, I forget who it was, we disagreed on something, and then eventually he just kept, like, harping on and on and on about how his opinion was right and this and that, and eventually I was just like, you know what? You're right. Fine. Okay. Whatever. Just leave me the fuck alone, dude. Like, if this is all you're going to do, if you can't just like see that, okay, I value this versus that, like what, like,
what's the point in having conversation if you're just gonna? Because
again, people want to be right. Yeah. That's the whole problem. People don't want to see other people's opinions and be like, oh, okay, so this is why you can't. Yeah. Instead, everyone's closed off, and you know, they want instant gratification of just like they're right. They don't want to. They want to pretend like they're right and everyone else is wrong. And here's the thing: I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong. Right. I am always willing to admit when I'm wrong. Whenever I make a mistake, I own up to it. Yeah. But I don't know. Anyway, though, I'm glad you enjoyed that. Yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And if you all want us to watch more Dan Avidan or NSP or any of the other projects that he's involved in, let us know. And I guess until next time, signing off, I'm Nate.
I'm Kate.
We'll see you later, everybody.
See ya.
Peace.